Fulu coming to you with another commentary. So I've been saying this, that like a lot of these satanic women are damaged goods, and that you need to stay clear away from them in order to maintain your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your financial health, your spiritual health, and your economical health. The reason why they are this way is as follows.
It seems pretty straightforward that struggling with malvalidation comes from a space of being consistently invalidated. And as someone who grew up and came of age overweight, I was consistently invalidated by men, which is why I clung to hook.
So you see even how their eyes are, like when you look at, like, you can tell in a woman's eyes that, yeah, like this woman is like gone. You can tell, like, you can just, you can definitely tell, like, okay, this, you can definitely, tell, like, okay, these women are gone. Like, this woman is totally gone. But let's just continue on and let's see what she has to say.
Hookup culture. Hookup culture provided this space where for a moment's time I could feel like I was worthy. That if some random guy wanted to make out with me, it must mean that I am pretty, it must mean that I am thin, that I am societally acceptable for him to engage with.
So, like, when a woman does this, like when a woman like does this, just understand that the dudes that she is going for are, like the Chads and stuff like that, where the Chad is thinking, well, I can make out with her, keep it moving, what I mean, no strings attached, I'm not gonna really have anything, not gonna really be committed to her, like, it's just, hey, thank you, wham bam, thank you, ma'am,
But what happens in hookup culture? You're discarded. It can be ruthless when you come at it from a space of wanting validation. And so it just restarted the cycle.
And that just lets you know that women, that's what they thrive off of. They thrive off of validation. Women thrive off of validation. That's what they thrive off of. You know what I mean? So if you starve them of validation, then you've already won like half of the battle. If you starve them of validation, you've won half the battle already. You know what I mean? Let's continue on.
Over and over again, where I would feel so bad about myself, like, oh wait, maybe, yeah, I am fat and ugly and disgusting, so let me go back out to hookup culture, let me go make out with another random stranger to just feel secure in myself. Very toxic.
Sounds like you up.
So as much as I would like to stop dating, I can't, because frankly, I'm horny. And
so when you look at it, when you look at how these women work, they get programmed to do it. So here's the thing. You can't wife these women. You can't marry them. You can't settle down with these type of women because they've already been programmed to be pumped and dumped, pumped and dumped, pumped and dumped, pumped and dumped. They've been programmed to do that so much already that if you decide, hey, I want to settle down with you, I want to do this with you and stuff like that, then they're not going to be like, they're not programmed to do that. They're not like really programmed to basically, I want to say they're not programmed to they're not programmed to basically be a housewife. They're already 304s. They've already made themselves 304s. Pump and dump, dating, hook up, foodie call, things like that. So you should never try to come and be like, okay, well, I'm going to try to help this one settle down, stuff like that. Never do that, okay? You're making a mistake.
And I feel like casual sex is just not for me because I always leave feeling empty and like I'm not getting enough. So,
I mean, but she's still doing it though. That's the thing. When she says casual sex it's not for me, I'm feeling empty. But she's still doing it. That's the thing. Like they still do casual sex though, you know.
Gotta keep dating.
How's that working out for you?
This is why I stopped dating for an entire year. Before this year, I was dating excessively. I was having sex with pretty much anyone who would validate me.
Okay, so keep in mind though that like when they're dating, you know, like they're getting their backs blown out when they're dating. You got to understand that. Like when they're dating, they're not just dating. Modern women don't date for a purpose. Modern women date to whatchamacallit? They date either for money, like material goods. Number two, they date to like get their backs blown out. Or number three, they just date so maybe like a sucker simp can just like compliment them and validate them, as you see here.
It was just getting to a point where I had little to no self-worth. All of this stemmed from trying to heal from previous trauma and continuing to attract toxic men into my life. I don't believe in restriction, but at the time, the most toxic part of my life.
Keep in mind, she said, I don't believe in restriction. So, I mean, that she's basically telling you, I don't believe in, like, taking it easy. I don't believe in, how should I put it? She doesn't believe in, you know, balance. That's basically what she's saying, you know. Sad to say it, but, you know, that's what she's saying, man.
Life was dating and was surrounding myself with the wrong types of men. For me, I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a year, but I definitely needed a reset, and I needed to start loving myself the way that I know I should be.
You like this?
So when she says loving herself, like what that means, okay, now you have to know one thing. When a modern woman says, like, you know, I had to get self-love and self-worth, what she's essentially saying is that, okay, what she is essentially saying is that she's essentially saying that I'm gonna now gas myself up. That's what she's essentially saying now. Like, okay, I'm gonna gas myself up after I put myself through what I put myself through. That's what she's saying. You know, that's what she's essentially saying. You know, and yeah, you know, that's what's happening. But let's look at another one with these women.
You know, instead of having this giant meat smoker, we should probably just order lunches through Easy Cater. Food shows up on time as ordered from all.
All right, this is going to be an episode of Rate My Date from my Sunday brunch. So here goes. Overall, I'm going to tell you that I give this date a 3 out of 10, and here's why. He looked like his pictures, pretty much, a little heavier than his pictures, but he was tall, he was attractive, he was successful, he was smart. He picked a great restaurant. All those things are great, so I'm going to give him props for that. But I will tell you, here I go again on another date with someone that asks me not one question. He does not know where I live, what I do for a living, how old my kid is. He knows nothing about me. Nothing. And I hate those, what's your favorite color?
So, I mean, in essence, he was just trying to hit it. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's like he was trying to hit it, you know? Like, yeah, like that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to hit, you know?
I don't mean that, but just a regular conversation, back and forth like a tennis match. I asked him a ton of questions. He didn't ask me anything back. It was actually weird. At the end of the date, I really got the impression that he was a player, but he told me he wanted to see me again. When I said to him, "You don't know anything about me," he said, "What do I need to know about you? I know that I'm attracted to you." What? Holy shit.
I was a little drunk. Plus, I was horny.
So if you want to know why we're tired, it is tears and snot.
Look at how old this woman is. Listen, bro. Why would you even mess with something like that? Look at her. Old, tattooed up. Look at her. Like what? Grandma, why are you even on the dating market? Grandma, don't you have some grandkids to take care of? Like, why are you even on the dating market? Like, please answer that question for me.
Oh my, Roman, I don't even care. I'll tell you why we're fucking tired. I started talking to a guy a couple of weeks ago, just casually. And we started talking more this week.
Oh, look at her, bro.
The last few days, and he lives in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I was going to be going down there this weekend on my way to Little Rock to see a friend, and we made plans to go out, and so we're talking today, and he says, I don't really want to wait till Friday to see you. And I said, well, just come up here today, just being very casual about it. And he said, you mean it? And I said, yeah. And he called me and he said, well, I'm halfway there. And I was like, all right, will you send me the snapshot so I can do the TikTok? And he goes, yeah. And I never heard from him again.
The fact that she's on TikTok at this age just goes to show you how pathetic these women have became. I hate to say it, but I have no sympathy for them. Like, I really am. Like, I hate to say it, but Islam, Islam has sanctioned my behavior towards these women. Like, Islam has sanctioned like me basically being Kratos when it comes to these modern women. Islam has sanctioned it. Because, like, back in the day, the Sahaba and the companions, they wouldn't go for this either. They wouldn't go for this. Aisha wouldn't go for this. Fatima wouldn't go for this. Salama wouldn't go for this. Ruqayya wouldn't go for this. They wouldn't go for these women. These women would hate. These women would hate Fatima or Salama. They would hate them badly. But let's continue.
And he fucking blocked me. And this has been going on for 2 days. Or 3 days. But all day today. Like, I went to the grocery store. I bought all this stuff to cook for him. And, I just don't get it. It's like, what the fuck? Why would you do that to somebody?
The same reason why you done it to the dudes in the past that you probably turned down and stuff like that, and they had sincere intention and you turned them down. That's the same reason, man.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see. So, I've always said that single women keep women single, and so here's your proof right now. Here's your proof.
If you're a single woman, you should be dating more than one man at a time. And here's why. Reason number 1, love is a numbers game, and there's really no other way to put it. If you are meeting 50 men in a year versus 5, you're far more likely to find a better fit for you out of those 50.
And so that's 50 dinglings that she's bench pressed later. And then she, out of the 50 dinglings, she's going to be like, oh yeah, I found the one. I found the one for me after being ran through 50 times. That's what she's basically telling you to do. You know, again, you know, God made women's nature different from men, right? But because they want to be men so badly, they take after men. You know, because in essence, like, when you really think about it, when you really kind of like think in these terms, the men, you know, the men are usually the ones who play the numbers game. Like, the men are usually the ones who have to approach multiple women, like, hey, you want to, like, hey, you want to go out, hey, you want to do this, hey, you want to do that. It's usually the men who have to do it, you know what I mean? But the fact that she is suggesting that women play the numbers game goes to show you that, hey, you know, like, just get ran through, you know, and then you'll find the one that you want, right?
Than the 5, right? Simple math. Number 2, if you're the type of person that gets really emotionally attached to people very quickly, this slows the process down, because now you're dating multiple people at a time. You're getting to know their true personalities before putting all of your eggs into one given basket. Make sense?
Y'all, being single and dating is stressful. Being single and dating in Atlanta is even more stressful. You got one dude who mad because somebody else gave me flowers. You have one dude that's mad because you ain't got time for him. You got one dude that's mad.
Okay, keep in mind what she just said. Keep in mind what she just said. You got one dude that's mad because you ain't got time for him. So you have to ask yourself this then, like, okay, well, like, if you don't have time for him, then why are you stringing him along? Like, what are you giving him? What are you giving him that is basically that's basically you know what I mean? Like, what is he giving you that basically makes you string him along? That has to be the question that has to be asked. You know what I mean?
Because I'm tired. You got another dude that's mad because you going out with another dude, and then you got another dude that's upset because you keep it a stack with him. It's like, well, how does this dating thing work?
Keep in mind, though, keep in mind that, like, best believe that out of those dudes, there's a couple of dudes digging her out. Just keep that in mind, though, when she's doing that. Keep in mind that a couple of dudes are still, like, you know what I mean? Just keep that in mind.
It doesn't work that way.
When I tell my clients that they should date multiple guys at once, they always get a little bit freaked out. Because when women first come to me, they're used to being in toxic situations that move too quickly. So when they...
But you can see that these women are evil, though. You can see, like, you can feel their evil spirits. Like, it's just like, I have taken it upon myself to actually wear a talisman now. Just going out in public and stuff like that. Because these women's spirits are very, very evil, bro. Like, seriously, they're very, very evil. I guess the only time that I was able to let my guard down with a woman was when, you know, I encountered, like, a Muslim sister, and, you know, unfortunately that Muslim sister was being slandered by the Western woman for covering herself up and stuff like that. And you know, that led to me basically calling those Western women out their names. You know what I mean? That Muslim sister, you know, she acknowledged me and said, "Thank you for doing that." You know, I said, "No problem," you know, "No problem." And we just kept it moving, you know, just kept it moving after that. that's the only time I was able to let my guard down, because of the simple fact, you know, she was covered head to toe. I'm not gonna lie, we felt each other's energy too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the energy was felt. And then when those two non-Muslim women came along and decided to insult her, that's when they got the short end of my my insults towards them, you know.
Hear date multiple people at once, they think that means getting intimate, texting all day, seeing this person all the time. But dating multiple people at once is different than being in a relationship with multiple people at once. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to date multiple people at once. But if it happens, you should allow yourself to. So by the end of a 6-week package with clients, they always change their minds.
25 million Americans lose more than $2.5 billion to fraud each year.
So, what I want to say is that basically, you know, these women have been ran through so hard and have been pumped and dumped so much that they take on these different spirits, you know, because when a woman said, you know, by default, a woman's going to lie about her body count, you know, by default. They take on these different spirits, and, you know, because they have these different spirits, you may be an unsuspecting guy, and it's like, you don't want that spirit to be on you. So my suggestion for you is, do the right thing, and just go ahead and look somewhere else for. Now, if you want to hook up with them, go ahead and hook up with them. Why not? I'm not like trying to co-sign doing like fornication. I'm not co-signing it. But I'm just saying, if you must, leave it at that only. Do not try to commit to them. But the next video, the next commentary in which I'm about to post, maybe you need to think about doing that instead. For Foolish signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Unjaram.